Welcome everyone to the 8th Plot, a channel devoted to your favourite stories and discovering new ones. Today's video is a what if video. As usual, I've got Scott and Ben. Hello Scott and Ben.
Hello. Hello.
Excellent. We're back after a 2-week hiatus because Scott was unfortunately ill, but he's looking better now. Not completely, not fully better.
You look very sickly, Scott.
Oh, thanks, Ben.
This is how you normally look.
Yeah. But it's just truth.
That's unfair. We apologise to Scott.
I don't care.
Yeah, we're here to discuss what we would do if we were thrown into a fictional universe and talk about the what if question that universe asks and see if we can answer it slightly differently. Today, if you can't tell, we're in the Batman universe, specifically and only the Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy. So that's Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. And I'm not going to go through the rules. I think you can understand how this all works. You get thrown into the universe, you get some resources, and off you go to try and do good or bad things, whatever you kind of want to do now. There's no real bad or good guy being portrayed by either Ben or Scott. But today, any bad things we attempt to do will be represented. Any good things that we try to do today will be represented by the ultimate hero, I think, chaps. And you can disagree or disagree with this. You're just going to disagree without me even saying it.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I think that the ultimate hero of the Batman trilogy is Joe Chill. What? Yes.
Outrageous.
Let me explain myself.
What's an outrageous claim?
It is outrageous. I understood.
He killed Bruce Wayne's parents.
Yes, but in the context of the universe, by doing that, he created Batman, and by creating Batman, Batman prevents the League of Shadows from destroying Gotham, which ultimately does Gotham good.
But by creating Batman, it creates an inflation in the criminal underworld, and criminals start fighting back harder.
But that all gets resolved by the end of Dark Knight Rises.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's all resolved. There's a statue of Batman and everything, they're all happy.
Yeah, because he crippled Harvey Dent, and they...
No, he didn't do that. The Joker did that.
The Joker did that, but they played it off as
And
Batman.
who made the Joker?
The Joker made himself.
No!
No, but still, we'll get into this, but in Batman Begins, if Bruce Wayne hadn't been there, the League of Shadows would have rocked up in Gotham and done their fear toxin thing and destroyed the whole city and killed a load of people. So if you ask me, if Joe Chill hadn't created Batman accidentally, there would have been no Gotham.
I disagree with you.
And there would have been no Dark Knight, which is the best film. We'll get to that in a minute.
I'll tell you why I disagree with you. It's because Batman only becomes Batman because of the trauma he suffers in the pit he finds.
Thanks to Joe Chill.
What?
Hey, Batman would never have been Batman.
Someone just don't rock up, kill your parents, and then you become Batman. He was only became Batman.
I think that's the entire premise of the Batman mythology.
No. He only became Batman because of the trauma he faced with all these terrifying bats when he fell in the hole. So the true hero is whoever covered up that hole. If he didn't cover it up properly. If they covered it up properly,
you mean whoever covered up that hole poorly?
Yes, yes. But if they covered it up properly, he wouldn't have fallen in that hole. And however many weeks later or months later, and come up from short off parents, he would just been sad.
So you're saying that the true hero of the Batman universe is actually the well?
Yeah.
That he falls down and finds the bats in?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll change that now on the video. Joe Chill is replaced with the well, because without the well, we would not have Batman.
Because otherwise Joe Chill would have come up, shot his parents, and Bruce Wayne would have been sad. That's all that would have happened.
Okay. Well, I've replaced it on the video.
Yeah.
Ben, do you agree with this ridiculousness?
Yes.
This is why Ben's my friend.
Excellent. So anything good is represented now, not by Joe Chill, whose I thought, but the Batwell, or the well, or the workman who shoddily covered it up, which presumably was Alfred.
Alfred is a true hero.
Well, no, we can't. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Anyway, anything bad will be represented by the obviously the source of all evil in the Batman universe, which is rich people.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think rich people cause a lot of problems in Gotham, including Batman himself in some ways as a rich guy.
This just sounds very anti-capitalist to me.
No, I think Bruce, like Wayne, is obviously cruising around town in a tank and destroying police cars, which must cost the city a fair bomb.
Oh, I mean the taxpayers must be going through the roof.
Exactly, and rich people are to blame for most of Gotham's ills.
I'm sure Bruce Wayne funds it and stuff like that.
Well, Bruce Wayne's parents
he
did
pays
fund
for
a
the
lot
damages
he pays for the damage that he causes.
That Batman causes.
I guess that's fair, but he's the only good rich person, I guess, maybe.
Well, no, his parents were good. They kept donating to charity.
Yeah, but they're dead now.
Yeah, they're inconsequential to it.
That's true.
But therefore, and it's myself usually representing the neutral aspect of that will be represented by, I think, like the kind of neutral personality in Batman, which is Alfred.
The most neutral person you could probably find in this universe.
Who does nothing to really stop the person he loves most in the world from cavorting around town and dressed like a bat and leaping off buildings.
Tight spandex leaping off buildings.
Yeah, but he's played into it, and yeah, so Alfred.
And he's been there since
the
he was
best
a child,
character.
So.
I wish Michael Caine had grown some sort of moustache to play
Why?
because Alfred has a moustache in the comic books, and it's classic. And no Alfred so far has dared to have a moustache.
Yeah.
Because moustaches look not great.
I dare you to look at a picture of the Alfred in the comic books and say to me exactly what you
Are you
just said.
talking about moustaches in real
He
life
looks
or
like
just
a
comic
classic
books in general?
Comic books.
Because Pennyworth is a classic British butler with the pencil moustache, and he's just awesome. Like the most awesome butler in all of comic book.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't disagree with.
Excellent.
I would disagree with that.
You would? You just want to disagree on principle.
No, I want to say Jarvis is the true best Batman.
Are you talking about
What
the
does he
computer?
do?
Yes.
He
That's
tells
wrong.
you the weather and opens some windows.
Yes.
Jarvis in the comic book is much better than the Jarvis computer, but he's not better than Alfred.
And he likes to season your food with paprika.
I think we're getting off topic.
Tangent control.
Yes, activating his power of tangent control. Anyway, that's who represents what today. So I don't have to go through the rules again, guys. You know what to do.
If you don't, look up it in previous videos.
Yes, start with Iron Man 1 because that's where it all gets explained in great detail, and now skip along to this one. But watch the rest too, and like and subscribe, and comment with your own ideas about what would you do if you were thrown into these universes with all the knowledge you possess of them.
We will read them.
Yes, we will read them, unless they're bad.
No, we do read them anyway, and we take on your criticisms.
Unless it's bad, in which case we completely ignore it.
Yeah, we go away and cry for a little bit, but we do come back
disregard
stronger than before. Like Bruce Wayne losing his parents.
But only due to the bat.
I don't think I could compare the two. I apologise. I really
Dare
do.
you?
I do. But no, I won't suggest that. Anyway, before we begin, guys, the whole thing going into the universe, what do you think of this trilogy? Scott has pretty much only saw it in preparation for this and did not see it before then.
I saw it for the first time last week.
So what did you think? We'll start with you.
Yeah, it was very good. I enjoyed it more than I thought. Batman Begins was a bit slow. Didn't really do a lot. I don't know. It just felt a bit. It was good. It just wasn't as good as.
Weirdly, it seems like the most fantasy of all of them.
Yeah.
In some way, in like the most fun. Even though Christopher Nolan wanted to build a grounded Batman,
Yeah.
it's the most fantastic. It seemed like the most goth, the most.
Yeah.
It's
ridiculous.
It's more hype. It's more cinematic reality than the other two because he in the first one Christopher Nolan's not afraid to be like a little goofy. I mean,
That's one thing. Yeah.
Ra's al Ghul says, "Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a city to destroy,"
Yes.
and stuff like that.
And he had a moustache to twirl as well. So
He didn't twirl it though.
yeah, it was. It's the whole concept of the train and the microwave generator.
It just felt a bit disappointing, really.
Really?
Yeah.
But you stuck at it and
Yeah.
you continued. So what do you think of the next one?
I think the next one is easily the best one.
Dark Knight.
Yeah. The Dark Knight. I think it's very satisfying. It's like even though the bad guy effectively wins, it just felt like a very good. It could probably have stopped there, and I would have been okay with not having another film.
Really?
Yeah.
Batman is a fugitive forever.
Yeah. Well, it just feels like that's sort of the Batman character anyway.
I guess. Yes.
But I think the way they did Joker and Harvey Dent and I think when you thought Joker had ultimately lost, he came up with another plan to effectively counteract the plan they came up. It was okay.
He was brilliant.
And
Heath Ledger.
And it was one of my favourite bloopers they kept in the scene as well. When they went to destroy the hospital, but the button wouldn't work. So I pressed it again and again and again. Which wasn't actually scripted.
I'm very sorry to do this. That was scripted.
Was it?
Apparently.
It wasn't scripted.
A different internet source tells me that was scripted.
There was. I think it was supposed to all go off at once, but there was a measure that they had where he would do that, and they would set off another detonator in case
he knew.
didn't.
Like Joker was pushing that button. That he knew to do that he didn't ad-lib that bit. That's what I heard. And
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
The great and knowledgeable internet, I'm sure, was never wrong.
Plus, they wouldn't have been able to reshoot that because they blew up an
Yeah.
actual hospital.
Yeah,
I didn't
exactly.
know that.
Yeah, that's why I think I got it right on the first go.
Yeah.
But I do love the idea that it would have been ad-libbed. I hope that's the true version. I don't know.
One thing I really did like about this film is Lieutenant Gordon. Because when I met him in Batman Begins...
Oh, yeah, Commissioner.
When I met Commissioner Gordon...
He's not commissioning.
I know, but when you say Lieutenant Gordon, I go, who's this guy? I don't know this character.
They wasn't listening to the film.
So I only know him as Commissioner.
What I really liked about this film is the moment I met him and he became one of his friends with Batman, I knew this guy is going to die.
He's got a moustache. Sorry, I just want to point that out.
That's true. That's true.
He's not afraid of a moustache.
No.
Michael Caine.
But yeah, as soon as I saw him, I knew this guy's going to die. But then he did die, but then he didn't die.
Spoiler alert.
Obviously. which is what I really liked about it. So I was like, oh yeah, obviously the guy who knows Batman's going to die, because he does in every superhero film. But then I was like, no, he didn't die. It was actually a scheme. I love schemes.
Schemes within schemes.
Yeah.
Schemes that don't make sense.
But yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the way the Joker went, oh yeah, if you don't give me, what was it, Harvey Dent, I'm going to blow up every single hospital in Gotham.
Was that it? No, it's Batman.
No, Batman.
Yeah. If you don't tell me who Batman is,
Yeah.
I will blow up stuff.
If he doesn't reveal his identity. Also, I love those. I love the fact that the news has actually aired those videos of the Joker. So, like, they've actually seen them and said, you know what, we're going to put these on.
As disturbing
They're
these are disturbing. Let's watch.
Yeah.
This will get us ratings.
But yeah, I love the way they did it, and they almost they got the chaos. So it was like of the city and how Commissioner Gordon was going, "Oh, you need to do this," but now our priorities is this, and it's just all crazy. But
I like the boat scene at the end,
Yes,
where
that was very good.
neither boat really, they all just like give up and just either wait for them both to be destroyed. They don't want to. The criminal just throws the big guy throws the detonator through the window. He goes, he doesn't laugh, but so he doesn't do that. He just goes, "That's it. We're not destroying that boat full of people, and the boat full of people, and that like that
bald guy.
That bald guy, typical,
him.
typical. Yeah, he's definitely a villain. Like who like goes, yeah, I'm going to blow up this prison ship, and then he bottles it because he realised he doesn't want to be. Even he isn't that bad.
Really, we should have had him as the villain.
Yeah, we should have. But too late now.
We'll change both
We'll change
to the well and the bald guy.
The villains are now represented by this this guy, who was also problematic. But he wasn't as problematic because I imagine one of the other bad guys, one of the other rich guys, definitely would have pulled the thing and blown up the boat.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So back to the rich guys. They're still worse than that guy.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting scene because that's where the Joker truly loses. And why I like that scene so much when the Joker loses, it's reminiscent of the best Joker ever in any Batman created thing is Mark Hamill's Joker in the DC animated universe. If you've not seen it, go see it. He's the best. And there's a couple of times where Batman gets the better of him in a way because the Joker's thing is always trying to prove that his thing works and Batman's wrong. His way is right, Batman's way is wrong.
And they're the same, basically.
Yeah, but when the Joker fails, when Heath Ledger's Joker fails in The Dark Knight, is very reminiscent of a scene in the animated series where the Joker again loses when he expects to win, and it's when you see the Joker lose that you feel a very good sense of catharsis. Because you like this villain, but to see him lose and understand how he's lost and how he's wrong sort of stops you from trying to think like the Joker and think that he's right in the way because he's wrong. He's obviously wrong.
But I felt this film had a very satisfying ending to it. I didn't. With some films, as I'm going to discuss later, it was like you want more from it, like you want more storyline, but he just didn't give it to you. But it felt very wrapped. I was happy with the amount of time I got. But yeah, move on to the third film quickly so I can get Ben in as well.
Yeah,
It was good. I felt like the Robin storyline was a little disappointing. I was like, oh yeah, this is Robin now, but you're not getting another film.
Yeah, it would have seemed. I would have felt weirded out if they had thrown Robin in there in a red and yellow and red and green costume somehow.
But I liked how they did that at the very end. But I was disappointed I'm not getting a full film out. But as a whole, the film was good. I like the chaos from it. How, oh yeah, I'm trapping all your police officers in the underground, but I'm not actually going to kill them. I'm going to let you give them food and stuff.
Yeah.
And the fact if one person even crosses, the entire city's going.
Yeah, I bet some people got out. And then that Bruce Wayne got back in.
Yeah, the really light people went across the ice.
Me and Ben would have been
Before
fine.
I cross, I throw up and go to the toilet quickly.
Like, cut off a limb. Quickly.
Cut off a limb. And bleed to death on the ice.
like that scene out of Top Gear, and I believe it was Bolivia, where they just rip cars parts of their doors and
just gets
as
naked,
possible.
just down to his pants, and tries to cross the ice, and ultimately falls through and dies like that. How embarrassing!
But yeah, third one was good. I felt
a
bit confusing at times, but it was overall good.
People complain about it, but I like Bane in that. I think Bane is following on from the Joker. Bane is very different and equally as good. I guess you could say equally as good. Maybe not. Or like, who's the better villain? The Joker for sure in the trilogy. Definitely not Scarecrow, and definitely not Ra's al Ghul. But it's like, but Bane is. He seemed generally terrifying. He seemed like a good match for Batman. He seemed just as intelligent, and he had a plan. And I could understand him through most of it. Like, I didn't really have a problem with the voice.
No. I could understand him. It's just very funny. Just hear like, so you're saying you, not Mars.
I like that voice. There's something generally terrifying coming up from a massive. And who's it? Tom Hardy.
He's not even that big though.
I was about to ask.
He's
how
like
big is Tom
5'10" or something.
Well, that's there you go. That speaks to his range as an actor. He can act as a tall man. He certainly bulked up enough.
Yeah, that was one of my nitpicks though. Was his height, and that he wasn't like at least a head higher than Batman. I would have preferred, like, if they put him in high heels or something.
Who's that coming? Click, click,
click,
click, click, click. It's
That's
Bane!
Bane.
Ben, what did you think?
Yeah, what did you think overall, Ben?
I really liked it. I feel like I wish that there was more to do with the League of Shadows, because one of my favorite stories that Batman is a part of is usually like the ones where he's up against like the Court of Owls or the League of Shadows or that kind of thing. They're from the comics, and it's like rich people being evil. Actually.
Yes. See, I told you. I'm right. It's always rich people being evil. Yeah. That's a problem with capitalism.
And, I feel I wish that there was more to do with like bigger organisations kind of thing, but other than that, I really liked it. And the third film, I feel like should have been like it was too big for me. Well, not big, but like I feel like it was quite stupid to have like the police officers versus the people and that kind of thing. And like the entire city being captive in that way, I feel like could have been
not believable enough.
No, I feel like it could have been better with like Bane like controlling like some sort of like something else that that kept them there or something like that.
We had the bomb.
Well, yeah, but like it's just like I wasn't a fan of how big it was considering.
Yeah, and there were parts of it where like how and there's he's Batman. It's like he's one side of the world in a prison and he gets out. And then he somehow he makes it back into
a 2 week span.
Yeah, he's got 2 weeks or a month or even a month. I think it was.
I think it was 2 weeks.
But either way, like I think of course Batman can get across. Like Bruce Wayne would have money stashed somewhere, or he'd have the means. So, but in some ways, because they never really explain it, he just turns up and like gets on. Sometimes it seems a bit disjointed the way things were going and coming about. Like, the only thing I have a problem. I like the trilogy as a whole. It's normal for Batman Begins, goes up with the Dark Knight, sort of comes down a bit and levels off for the Dark Knight Rises. But my only complaint is that really that I didn't actually appreciate that Nolan tried to make a grounded Batman, because I don't think Batman can be grounded. I think because sometimes I was just looking at it going, that is just a guy in a bat suit who jumps off buildings and has a nice car, and it is. Rarely, like sometimes Batman's supposed to be more than that. The only superhero which is perhaps achievable by people because he's a normal human being.
Don't try this at home.
Do not try this at home. Don't dress up as a bat and jump off buildings. Dress up as a bird and jump off buildings. No.
Build a knife.
I did not. That I was not suggesting. That was a joke. If anyone does it and tries to sue me, you will not win because this exists now.
Terms and conditions apply.
Terms and conditions apply.
Whatever that means. Build, because nobody ever reads them.
It means terms and conditions apply.
Build an Iron Man suit instead of fly like Iron Man
No,
does.
but make sure it works.
Or don't. We won't be reliable for it.
Live your own lives.
Yeah.
We can't control you. We're just voices on a screen to you.
You don't even know if we really exist.
Do we really exist?
Yes.
Wait, hold on.
Where's the proof?
We're getting into metaphysics.
Where's the
Tangent control.
Where's the proof? Tangent control. Thanks.
Where's the
Thanks
proof?
again. Thanks again. Scott,
I stole that
for the
joke.
tangent control. Is there anything? Well, what else can we say about the whole?
Not a lot with the time we have.
True. I don't think I had to say anything else about reviewing these
But I
three
think we all
films.
can agree the second film's the best one.
The second film is the best one.
Yes.
Yes.
One of my favourite scenes in that film is just when Joker goes like this.
When you clap. Oh yeah.
That was improvised.
That was improvised.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
They just happened to have a camera on him from a previous shot, and he was like, "Ooh."
Okay, I'm gonna, because I haven't done it yet. I'm gonna give a little fact about. Do you know how the Joker tends to like lick his top lip or something? It's
Yeah.
like a twitch. Apparently, that's just Heath Ledger trying to keep the scars on, like because the scars are obviously prosthetics, and he has to keep licking them like that to keep them on the side of his cheek, and so it created that nervous tick and gave him that. I like that scene where he's in the. He gate crashes the party and picks up the wine glass, throws all the wine out, and then drinks it. I really don't get it, but fine.
Also, Michael Caine was supposed to say something on his entrance, but he got too scared of
Yes.
Heath Ledger, so
That was the first time he saw him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, there we
The
go.
one thing I don't understand is why didn't Batman just go and wipe all his makeup off his face?
Well, it wouldn't matter because no one knows who he is, regardless of.
Surely on the
anyway.
news, a neighbour must have gone, "Oh, is that crazy guy that lived next to me once?"
With the two scars?
Yeah.
So, no, I don't know. There's all kinds of theory. But in some ways, not knowing who the original person is another key essence.
Yeah,
of
that's
the
right.
film.
yeah.
I like the way they
The
did that.
mystery behind who it is like a fun thing.
But they never explained what happened to him because they caught him. He didn't die.
In
you
the
feel
insane asylum.
Yeah, but that we know that as Arkham Asylum's terrible security.
That's why he was done it offshore.
Wait, what?
They just took him on a boat.
Yeah.
Just took him on
Go
a boat.
away.
They're just constantly rowing Joker around the ocean to keep him out of trouble.
Yeah, Joker's just going there, row, row, row.
Why? Anyway, that's
Should we move on?
yes. We'll move on. So that's what we think of the film. You don't get these reviews anywhere else, if you can even call them reviews. But
Yes.
I think they're very credible sources.
Let's get into it. What would we do if we were thrown into the Batman or Christopher Nolan universe? How could we make it better, or how could we take advantage of everything we know about it? Who's going to go first, guys?
Scott, you can go first.
I went
since
first last
you're in
week,
the
so
chair.
I insist you go first this
I
week.
think that is true. It
What?
wasn't last week. It was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
I think you were. I think
Yeah,
that's
so
true.
last week you didn't go at all, and you were sick because of it. So it's your turn.
Ben, it's your turn.
Turning us around each other. Hang on a minute. I'll flip a coin. Ben, you're going first.
Wow, it's almost like it was scripted.
Which it was not. I need this bit of paper. Why do I do this gag every time?
Every week you do it, and every week you need it.
No, I don't need it. Excellent, that's done. Moving on to the next piece of the script. But what we're doing now is not scripted. So Ben, we'll go with you. What would you do?
Okay, so I would like to join the League of Shadows.
So,
Um,
I discussed this with Scott before. You're right, but I didn't discuss it with you. So
Why
I'm telling
not?
you now.
No, I'm more important than you.
Considering the rules, the earliest point you can enter the universe
Is when he's in the prison.
wait.
Yes.
Oh well, no. Actually, I think I deemed that when Christopher Bale actually
Christopher Bale.
Christian Bale
Which actor is this?
takes actually appears on screen. So that's like a slightly early 20s Batman, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
In an attempt to kill Joe Chill, that's the earliest point you can enter it. So forget Kid Bruce Wayne, forget the Well, and everything like that. Just that's the earliest point. So let's probably like 10 years before he
10
meets
years, you reckon?
Ra's al Ghul. I think that's like that, something like that. I'm looking at
But he's gone for 7 years.
14 years later. That's when Chill gets to killed. Bruce spends the next 7 years. So, let's say that he's 11 years old. 14 years later, he's like 25. So
21.
7 years later, he's like 32.
Cool.
So 32, he's in that prison.
Alright.
Or let's say 30.
But we're starting from when he's about to.
Our starting point will be when he's 25 and he tries to kill Joe Chill, but that other person beats him to it.
Okay.
But you can enter the universe any point after that, per the rules.
Alright, I'm gonna enter at that point.
Okay.
Not there though.
Not there.
I'm gonna go find Ra's al Ghul.
Well, you kind of
I'm gonna travel up to his mountain place with a flower.
Yeah, you do have to get the flower, I was about to say.
And I'm like, please.
Knock on the door. Is this the League of Shadows?
No.
Does the door slide open? What can I help you with?
Who are you?
Who are you? Is this the League of Shadows? There's no such thing. I've got the blue flower.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
And that is the interview process for becoming a member of the League of Shadows.
Yeah.
Okay, I will accept that you can probably join the League of Shadows on that basis.
I'm gonna join the League of Shadows, and I'm gonna be just as good as Bruce.
You're going to train relentlessly.
I'm
then.
gonna train relentlessly, and Bruce isn't even gonna be there yet.
No, it'll be 7 years before he
he's-
even gets there.
Yeah. So, and I'm gonna train, and I'm gonna become the head of the League of Shadows because,
How
like,
do
all
you-
I need,
Well, that means
I
you
kill that farmer.
Oh, that gets you into it ultimately.
No,
But
because
how do you become the head of the League of Shadows is Ra's al Ghul. How do you take his place?
he's an old man.
Give it 20 years. Do you realise Liam Neeson who plays him is still alive 20 years later?
Yeah.
But some say he's immortal.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, he doesn't age.
I suppose,
Just like
I
Keanu
suppose you
Reeves.
could arrange an accident.
Yes, some flour. Some of the flour gets
Push
in
him
his
down
eyes.
a well. Push him down a well.
Or food poisoning.
Food poisoning. Poison. That only
Yeah,
describes
he
it as food
accidentally
poisoning.
slides off the cliff.
So let me get. Or you could.
Avalanche.
You do realise you could possibly let. So you become a member of the League of Shadows before Bruce Wayne even gets there. So you're now like a fully fledged member.
Yeah.
And you just wait around until Bruce arrives, does all his training, and when he blows up the whole house, you just make sure you when you know it's about to go down, where he kicks that fire poker onto that
Hey,
gunpowder.
Mr. Raz, get out of the way.
No, you don't. You just go, lads. I thought I heard the doorbell. I'm just gonna go check that. You deal with this whole thing. I'm gonna leave you here to initiate Bruce. And you head out the back door and just watch from a mountain peak as it all explodes. And then you go back. And, what the heck happened? And then you kill Ra's al Ghul because he's just left alone with that peasant guy.
Yeah.
And once you've killed him, you find the other League of Shadows guys and goes, Bruce Wayne killed Ra's al Ghul. I'm now in charge for some reason.
What you should do is you should go to the kitchen and go, we're out of bread again. Go to the shop to get some bread. Lads, I want to buy some bread again.
We're out of the blue flour we used for fear poison. I'm going to collect more.
Okay.
Who
Yeah.
used up all the milk again? I'm going to go milk a cow.
So you're
All
not,
of those options
yeah,
work.
they work. So
Um,
you're not there when it blows up, and then you come back, you kill
So-
Ra's al Ghul, and you could essentially
I'm
take
now the
control.
leader.
You could take control. You're the only survivor.
I'm the leader
Which
of
means
no
you-
one.
Yeah, no, I presume there were more people.
There were definitely more people.
So
there were
anyway.
loads of people there.
So yeah, you could take Ra's al Ghul's place in that case.
I'm now the Raz of.
You're the Raz. Ra's al Ben.
Ben Al Ghul.
Ben al Ben al Ghul.
Raz Ben Ghul.
I don't know that one.
Okay, so now I am leader,
Yep.
and
Well, no.
I'm going to use the League of Shadows to infiltrate like countries and cities. But I'm going to instead of like wiping them out,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a stable, good government in there, and I'm gonna fix the city's problems and stuff like that.
Okay. So
A strong and stable leadership.
rather than
That's a Theresa May joke for all you outsiders.
for you politicians who are
Yes.
rewatching the show.
Yeah, we know you're an avid fan, Boris.
Big old Bojo.
Anyway, that was my political opinion. So so rather than do the League of Shadows mandate,
Other political opinions are available.
yes, but they're terrible. No, they're not. I have no idea. I can't speak to that. So anyway, going back to Ben's idea. Ben's now the head of the League of Shadows, and rather than doing the normal thing they do, which is take over, which is destroy cities and let them rebuild, hopefully better. Like they sacked Rome, they loaded Europe with plague ships, and they burned London to the ground, all in an attempt to rejuvenate. And they're clearly failing at this at every stage. They sacked Rome, nothing good came out of that. They loaded plague ships up with Europe, barely any good came of that except for millions of people dead. And burning London to the ground, they just rebuilt it exactly the same way before, only with stone houses. So that didn't really... ineffectual as an organisation goes.
Well, London's been through one great fire before already, so we know how to deal with it.
Maybe that was the League of Shadows.
Every time. Thank you guys for collectively gasping like that.
We're here every week to produce sound effects. Not those ones, those are disgusting.
That was okay, so you're now going around fixing stuff.
Yeah, I'm going around the world fixing stuff. And...
like Fix It Phoenix.
So obviously that means... Well, hang on. What kind of government are you putting in the place of...
We told you, a strong and stable leadership.
So, but what does that? Where does that manifest, Ben? What's your opinion on healthcare?
I create the GHS, which is the Global Health System
Association.
Service.
You do realise to accomplish this that you used to be incredibly violent towards the bad people in these cities. Okay.
I've got ninjas.
You've got
ninja.
You've got a microwave transmitter that boils
fear
water.
toxin.
Oh yes, you have got all that. You've got access to quite a lot.
Fear.
Fear. Walk up to the bad guy. Fear.
Hey, look, a cute cat. A lion. Ah.
What's your worst fear? Fear. Okay, so you're good.
The only fear is fear itself.
I use the League of Shadows for good and to rebuild the world in a...
Leave Gotham alone. Batman can go.
No, I will...
Bruce Wayne would, in this scenario, Batman will still go back. Bruce will still go back to Gotham and try to save it.
Yeah, but he...
And you won't be there blowing up water with microwave transmitters.
No, he'll probably just think that the League of Shadows isn't operational anymore.
Yeah, because he bounced after that. He thought, I've blown up their house. I'm sure it's all fine from now on.
I'm out, suckers.
I'm leaving this guy who clearly wanted me to kill that father. I'm sure it'll be fine. He won't come back to haunt me.
That peasant can deal with it.
He's not immortal or anything.
He's not. Yes. Well, he's not in this version.
No, evidently. He died by a train.
That's true. That's true.
He didn't have to be saved.
Such a petty.
But I'll just leave you to die, which is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
So you just leave Batman to clean up Gotham on his own, but
yeah, I might help him maybe light from the shadows because I am the League of Shadows.
Yeah.
What was that shadow doing there?
Fear.
Sorry, is this when you go fear? It sounds like some sort of Captain Planet thing. Evil, anger, fear. I am Captain Negative Emotion. I couldn't really think that was it. I shouldn't have started that.
Whenever he does it, I just think of that scene in The Office where Mose has the word fear in red letters on his chest. It's very funny.
Is it?
Here's a picture of it now.
No. I refuse to show that picture. Oh no, here we go. Anyway, let's move on from that picture.
Tangent control.
Oh, tangent control once again by Scott, who set us on that tangent.
Yes.
Yeah, Scott.
I am the creator of many tangents, but yet can control them.
So what Ben has become an international league of assassins who have now solved properly world problems rather than the classic villain trope of if I kill everyone, everything will get better. If it's like the Thanos thing, you snap your fingers, half the universe dies, everything gets better, as if it would. But your idea is to actually use the evil organisation to fix everything properly.
Why did Thanos just double everything?
Because
we're not getting into that. Save that for the
Tangent
Avengers
control.
episode.
Watch a film theory.
Sweet. Other film theories are available.
But don't listen to them. Listen to us.
We are the best ones.
Anything else, Ben? How else are you going to take that anywhere else?
No, I'm good.
I like it. The only people who die are those.
It'll take a while.
It'll take a while.
And the people that oppose me will die, but
but for the greater good.
for the greater good.
Sounds pretty evil.
Shut it.
Shut it. Yes. Sorry, that was tangent control. Okay.
I should have a button with an alarm.
You haven't
tangent
saved
control.
all the lives. There's going to be some people will die, but at least you're not covering trying to cover Gotham in fear toxin. Presumably, you have to take care of Bane and Talia Al Ghul somewhere down the line.
I mean, Talia and Bane are as a result of race. So I'll probably just like
Kill them on the side.
Yeah, like Bane, you have a mask, you can't be here. or
That's you could. I think you could just. You could find a way for the League of Shadows to just take them and to put them in jail or something. Leave them in. No, they get out.
I can leave Bane in the pit.
As far as I can tell, Bane and Talia are out of the pit, even by Batman Begins.
Really?
Yeah, because she's got to grow up into an adult.
Oh, yeah, true. But Talia's the one that climbs out of the pit. Bane never does.
Yeah, but Ra's al Ghul or Deckard as a young man goes in and frees him. So they're both free, and they for some reason they wait 10 years to get their revenge, which was weird.
I could do something about them. Like, I have a sword. I have a League of Shadows behind me.
I want to hear your plan now.
What plan?
The plan.
We might not have time.
Tell you what, I'll stab them both.
That's true. We don't have time.
Let's solve that problem. It's sort of an anti-hero, but yes, it works for the most part. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
you are welcome.
I do like the idea of the evil organisation being used to resolve the issue, like rather than do the classic. If we just kill a bunch of people, everything will get better. Like it's like a Bondian thing. It's a Marvel thing, and I don't know why they just don't take the time to just be evil, but be evil to evil people and make them change the way governments work and get rid of the corrupt people, and let things get better. Like. And how many governments would actually be better if the very people who were corrupt just disappeared and kept disappearing for across time and filter in the good ones, or the better ones, I should say. There's very few good ones. Well done, Ben. Over to you.
Excuse me.
Sorry, Scott. It's over to you.
I know me and Ben are quite similar. We don't know anything alike. Dare you? How was he? Dare you?
Sorry. I apologise.
Okay. Right. My plan. So I enter the same time Ben does. However, I don't go to the what was it, the League of Shadows or whatever it is.
Yeah.
League of Shadows.
Yeah. That. I go to America and I join the army.
Okay.
Yeah. I've got a plan.
Okay, I'm listening.
I've got a plan. I join the army. I become a great shot and I hopefully survive a war.
Okay.
Hopefully. Or no. What I do is I get discharged from medical grounds. Because I've got many medical.
How did you get into the army in the first place? Based on these medical problems that you have. Great word, medical.
I shoot myself in the foot and then go, that guy did it.
That's not going to fly.
That's true.
I think you can get into the army and leave it at a risk.
That's true. So I become good at shooting. Then I go, oh, maybe this isn't for me, and then I leave.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I wait around for a bit. I just do a bit of like work and stuff. Not doing a lot.
You buy shares in Bruce Wayne.
Yes, I'll buy shares
in Bruce Wayne. Sorry, in Wayne Tech.
Wayne Enterprises.
Yeah, Wayne Enterprises.
With my very little money, I wait for the stocks to rise and then I sell.
Yep.
Like we did. No, that's not relevant to this. I was going to make a joke, but that wasn't in this, so I won't. No. What do I do then? I wait.
You're just going to wait.
Yeah. I wait till the Dark Knight.
Okay.
The second film.
Yeah.
And then I discover the location where Joker brings all that money he has.
Is it? So this is after he. What does he do?
Robs the bank, then shoots everyone that was helping him.
No, it's not. It's not just that. It's where he gets the mob to agree with him that they'll give him half their money if he can take care of Batman or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so they give it to him. They give him half. It's like a giant stack of cash.
Giant. We're talking about probably millions of millions.
Find that warehouse.
Yeah, find it.
You could just follow the mobster around because doesn't seem very.
And I've got all the military experience to do it.
Yep, I see what you mean. Yeah. So you
So,
find out where the warehouse is full of.
Then I wait for Joker to arrive.
Yep.
And then I buy, because I've got all this money from the shares. I go off. I buy some very good tactical gear.
How about like you just rob Batman's cave?
That's true. I know where it is.
There's some real good stuff there. I can promise you that.
That's true. I would have to bypass security though. He's probably quite
fear toxin. You can grab a load of fear toxin as well.
You just go through the waterfall.
That's true. I know where the waterfall is. It's not very well protected, isn't it?
No.
Oh yeah, look at me. I've got some water protectors.
Yeah, you'd think that some people would be interested in investigating that waterfall. Like some
There's
campers.
a road going up to this waterfall.
And these tyre tracks are suddenly stopped. But I see no cars.
Yes, where are the people who like climbing and stuff, just constantly finding the Batcave?
That's true.
Let's check out that waterfall over
Joker.
by that Wayne Manor place.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Batman!
There's a giant bat costume in here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I don't need that.
Or you could just steal from Wayne Enterprises somehow.
Yeah.
Get into the basement, take all Lucius's cool stuff he's got lying around.
But anyway, I get a good rifle, and when I lie in wait secretly, like in a corner somewhere they can't see me. And when Joker arrives, I go, "Hey, suckers!" and then shoot them all.
Or use traps and booby traps and
traps,
things.
but I prefer my line.
Yeah.
Hey, suckers!
You suckers.
And because of the shooting experience I've had, I won't miss.
Yeah, presumably.
And Joker won't be exposed. Like nobody knows where this is.
Yeah,
but
I
I
think
do.
it's all secret.
Yeah. Then I take all the money. Nobody knows I've done it.
Oh, so that
So
entire
you've killed the Joker.
a couple of mobsters and their goons and some of the Joker's goons, and that massive pile of money is now yours.
Yeah.
How much was that money? It looked
Billions.
billions,
Yeah.
literally billions.
Yeah.
But
I think the first stack was calculated to be like 7 billion.
Oh my goodness.
that's
So you have to get a truck as well.
Yeah. So I use this money to buy some supplies so I can store this money. Because I can't just walk into a bank with 7 billion and go, "Here, I would like to
So
deposit
a
this into my
giant
bank."
Scrooge McDuck vault somewhere.
Yes.
I mean, Bruce Wayne's got those like cargo, those like those like boat containers
Oh,
that
yeah.
are secretly bat caves. You could probably make one of those.
And I invest the 7 billion into Wayne Enterprises.
Really?
Well, I'll invest some of it. I won't invest all of it. That'd be mad.
So you could literally
Don't
go
they
and do
lose
anything
all their
else.
money?
Who?
Like,
Yeah, Wayne.
What?
That's true.
In the third one, they do, and presumably they don't get it back until some point afterwards. Like,
That's true.
I'm pretty sure legally they would, like, people go, Bruce Wayne lost all his money after a terrorist attack on the stock exchange. I wonder if there's a connection. Like,
Or-
he'd get that money back eventually.
Or I'd invest it back into the police force so they can buy some better gear to be able to.
You still, yeah, you kind of, like, or you could just bounce from Gotham and leave it.
That's true.
You don't have to stick around. You fill a truck with all that money,
That's true.
or as much as you want, drive out of town, deposit in a bank in a much better city
Yes.
in the DC universe,
Yes.
like Metropolis, which is cleaner, has Superman flying. Well, not in this universe, but a better protector.
That's very true.
And he walked away with it. Who cares what happens to Gotham? Because you've clearly done the bad
That's
thing.
true.
You've followed
And
the hero.
Joker's not there to do any more.
No,
damage.
true.
Are you gonna stop?
Harvey Dent doesn't become Harvey Dent. Oh no, he does. Technically.
He would do.
I give some of the money back to rebuild the hospital. That's the only moral thing I can think of
That's
doing.
it.
All right.
Okay, so you've become rich.
And I start a charity for victim support.
Victim support of Batman, the Broken Bones Incorporated. Have you been hit by a man as a bat and broken an arm?
Yeah. And then what I do is I go back to Gotham. I find Batman just walking around on the street. And go, "Hey, Bruce!" I was like, "Oh, how do you know?"
Just for the lulz.
Yeah. Yeah. But I make sure it's like a
You
really.
tap him on the shoulder and go, "Hey, buddy."
Hey, buddy! Hey, buddy! That guy's Bruce Wayne. It's like, how do you know that? Just a hunch.
You could go back and sell the identity of Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. That's my plan. Not the most,
Indeed.
not the most extravagant plan I've had,
No.
but a plan nonetheless.
It works. You walk away with billions with very little effort. Yeah, overall. Yeah, I can't really see a big downfall for you going forward. People might ask where you got a truckload of money from, but especially when it's all bank money.
That's true.
But I don't think it matters. It's Gotham. You can find a way to
That's true.
deposit that somewhere. You go to a pawn shop and buy all their gold and walk away with all the gold. That's bad. That's a stupid example.
That's called robbery, and that's illegal.
Yeah.
As is shooting a lot of people, but who cares?
You were
Swings
playing,
around maps.
you were playing the bad guy in this scenario.
Sure.
If you had no morals, how could you take advantage of the Batman universe?
But also
if
be
you had
good.
morals like Ben, how could you make things better? Is there someone in the Batman universe you would try to save, either of you? Like, who died, who probably should...
Jim Gordon.
Jim Gordon. He's
No,
not
Jim
always
Gordon.
alive. He lives by the end of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's...
That's why. Yeah, he died. I expected him to die, but then he didn't
I
die.
never expected him to die.
I'd probably go back and save Rachel somewhere.
Ah, yes.
I'd be
And
Oh, that's
maybe
true.
I'd
stop Dent from having half his face.
nah.
No.
That's one of my favourite Joker
I
plans.
liked Dent, though. There's nothing wrong with Dent.
Yeah, I liked.
He only goes crazy after half his face.
Yeah,
is
and
taken
I
off.
was fine with him, but it's like
That's one of my
Yeah.
favourite Joker
You
plans.
could. Do you know what you could do? You could go... Because Batman's obviously going to save Rachel, but then he gets to Harvey Dent's and he looks around going, the Joker lied to me.
I could just switch them.
Yeah, no. You could. Or
Well,
when Batman runs out of the police station, you tap him on the shoulder. Hey, buddy, go to the other one. That's where she is, and then walk.
Just walk past
do you reckon
Batman.
he lied to you,
that
maybe?
Batman,
Do you reckon he lied?
that Joker was such a liar to my friend. I was like, he's right.
I would also maybe tell them of like the guy who had a bomb sewn into him.
That's true.
Who
I feel
somehow
like we
agreed
can't.
to
I feel
that.
like that's illegal
Why did he
in this
agree
game.
to that? Oh, that's true. Yes, you're right. That breaks the rules of.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
just-
going on all about me all the time about not being able to go up to Ewan McGregor and go, hey, that Palpatine has got weird clothes in his closet. You won't allow me to do that. And you go,
And
sure,
you're literally
you got a bomb in
going-
your
Yeah,
body.
I'm sorry. Like, you're right.
You just have them.
You're
like,
right. Switch them round. Or
As
like,
they.
Hey,
as they
Rachel, I'm
come-
saving you from this one bomb-filled building and putting you in another bomb-filled building.
As,
yeah, you can just save them both.
as they come into the. As the guy comes into like the police station, you just hold up. We need to scan you for any metal. And it's like,
Wow, this
what
guy's got
is
tons. Sniffer dogs. Yeah, he's got bomb in there.
Right,
and a phone.
Does
Whoa.
the phone number blow up the bomb?
The phone call presumably blows up the bomb.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I was going to say...
I could call it earlier.
Yeah, you
And
could.
just call it.
Yeah. Randomly.
Do it when the Joker's still
in
there.
the end. So yeah, that was quite a risk.
Joker, what is that? Why is that going off? It's not meant to go off yet.
Yeah. Exactly.
Funny.
Yeah. Who would I want to save most of all? I don't know. There's a few people. The judge who puts all the criminals away in the second one. She just dies, and so does the commissioner as part of the plan. I would like to save
It was
her.
quite a funny.
She didn't deserve to die.
It was
She
quite a
she
funny
was just-
death, though.
Was it?
Like,
She looks up and
She goes.
her car
She goes
explodes.
into the car, opens up an envelope, and it says where she's going. Up. It's like,
It says
whoa.
look up, but that doesn't make any sense. I was
'Cause
wondering,
it-
Heaven.
but she looked up, and
I
then it
thought it-
exploded, and I kind of thought,
no, the looking up wasn't part of it.
what was that then?
It was
I-
the bomb like blowing it.
No, but
the
she
car
got a note
upwards.
that said look up, and she looks
No,
up.
it just said.
You just
up.
said up.
Did it?
Yeah, because the policeman said, we don't know where you're going. This envelope will tell you where you're going, and then it just said up.
Now I get it.
I thought
I
that
watched
was
that
referring
film
to the
multiple
afterlife.
times, and I thought that was a random thing to ask her to do, to look up, and then
There's
and
gum
then
on my ceiling.
yeah, and then I now get the joke, or the macabre joke, macabre Joker's joke that she is going up as the car explodes. But yeah, she should have been saved. I would have like diffused a bomb or something under a car. She didn't deserve to die.
Crash into a car.
Commissioner
beforehand.
Loeb. Commissioner Loeb in this film wasn't a bad guy, but he is in the Batman universe. He's kind of a corrupt commissioner. That's why Gordon takes his place.
What you should do is
So I could
you
say
should
to
try-
him, like, I'd switch his scotch around so that it doesn't, whatever it was, so he doesn't get poisoned. And that seems fair to me.
Or just rear-end the judge's car. So
That's
he's
a-
like, who crashed into my car?
There's a lot of cops who like shouldn't have just, like, who were in the wrong place wrong time just died. They should be saved.
Too much like real life, really, isn't it? Sad.
It is, yes.
Sorry. Got dark
And on
quickly.
that a melancholy note.
What's the what if question of this episode?
That's a good question. Yeah, I think
What if there was a
hang on.
guy running around in a bat costume?
Yes, but also no.
Oh.
I think the what if question asks is what if, I guess what if someone put a back costume trying to sell crap? But it's like, what if,
What if someone had the tech to do that?
what if, because Batman is kind of the more, like a lot of superheroes who are just normal humans who are well trained at something. Then what if a person, like what if a rich person, I think you have to be rich to be Batman, set himself the task of clearing up an entire city and training himself relentlessly to be the world's best detective, and perhaps in the DC universe, the most capable character that exists in the DC universe is Batman.
How dare you? We all know it's Green Lantern.
It depends
What
on the
is
Green
wrong with
Lantern. If it's John Stewart, then he's hyper capable. But
No,
Hal Jordan isn't.
I
very
was talking about
capable.
Ryan Reynolds.
Can I please wheel Scott away?
No, he has to stay here for the my own duration.
There's a window right next to him. We
So-
can just...
I can simplify it. What if someone used their wealth to become a superhero and fight crime?
That's
Now-
what Iron Man did.
Yes. In Batman's case, it's I will dress up as a bat and terrorize criminals, put fear and superstition and
Fear.
Yeah.
Superstition.
And yes, and do that to try and fight crime. But there's often said that one of the criticisms about Batman is that why doesn't Bruce Wayne just use his fabulous wealth to make what's it called, Gotham better? Like the best thing I've seen is like Bruce Wayne has something like 60 to 80 billion on hand, But I looked into this, and if Gotham is a big city, a fairly big American city.
I think it's supposed to be New York.
Well, see, I looked up New York's
It's
operating
modelled
budget for a whole year is 90 billion. Like that's how much the city spends to keep itself going. So Bruce Wayne couldn't do anything to save with his wealth to save Gotham, because because also all that wealth exists in the form of stocks and property and the company, the assets of the company himself. So if he sold it all and only got 80 million for it, and then he just gave that to Gotham to solve something, it wouldn't do anything. It's the entire city's operating budget twice over or something.
Well,
and then next year, where's that money gone?
Well, most of it will be spent on repairing things that Batman's broken.
Yes.
Also, Ra's al Ghul said, like he mentioned how Thomas Wayne was using his wealth to try and help, but it wasn't working.
It wasn't enough,
and that's probably why Bruce Wayne didn't use his wealth and used Batman instead.
So, I was thinking that if you mentioned Tony Stark and the Green Arrow, I can't remember what's his name.
Oliver Queen.
Oliver Queen, thank you. That's another example of rich guy doing this to do that. I think the same can be said of something like Elektra or what other superheroes are rich and use that wealth to do stuff.
Spider-Man.
No,
Spider-Man's a teenager whose uncle was
he's one of the poorest.
I know.
The poorest superheroes out there.
Joke.
He's the hardest.
So
working
he somehow managed to
superhero.
buy 3 different apartments within 3 films.
Yes, or in New York.
Exactly.
So
New York's
what-
not
I'm
cheap.
trying to think of there must be
Expensive
other
after.
rich, wealthy. Well, Watchmen, I guess, is the same for Ozymandias and that. Either way, using it like you. I mean, they must be able to do something with that wealth to make people's lives better, for sure. But if you're a superhero who's prepared to do questionable ethics to make things better, Batman, like the Batmanish character, maybe they should do a story where the superhero actually does things that legitimately make the cities better to live in, like get
an anti-crime task force.
Well, it's not that. It's more like, could a superhero who has loads of money and do the things that Batman can do manipulate the way the city thinks so that it just runs better? Like in Batman, it works that Batman is actually doing the stuff he does because he needs to get rid of the corrupt people so that better people can take their place and the city operates better. Like Bruce Wayne could give all his money to Gotham at the beginning of Batman Begins, but it would have done nothing because all that money would have been squandered by the corrupt government officials or made its way to the mob. So Batman needs to clear out the mob first, and then think about, how do I support politicians like Harvey Dent, who would be better in these positions, who would make better decisions for the city and ultimately make it better. I said better a lot there, I apologise, but I couldn't think of any other way to phrase it. In other words, the superhero is darker than Batman in the sense that he goes after the corrupt in a different way and clears them out and then uses his money to manipulate the system, maybe run
By
for
using
mayor.
his money to start a Justice League.
Not in the Nolan universe, though.
You know,
I would have liked to see Christian Bale as Batman, like in the Justice League universe.
I wouldn't have.
You know, Christopher Nolan was asked to do Man of Steel
He turned it down.
originally, and then he turned it down.
Man of
So
Steel was such a
potentially
disappointing
Henry
film.
Cavill and Christian Bale could have been part of the same universe, and that could have been.
Oh, so it wasn't
It
a
could have been-
standalone Man of Steel.
No, the Man of Steel movie
Would have been a continuation of the Batman universe.
It would
in some
have
sense.
probably been a continuation.
It would have been interesting. I think Christopher Nolan would have done a better job overall then. I like Man of Steel, but
I
it
quite
could be
liked
better.
it, so-
It could be better.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I was disappointed we didn't get a 4th Batman. Because I would have liked to see what they did with Robin.
Oh yeah, so you're fine with 2 Batman, but you can't have 3.
What?
You said earlier that you couldn't, that you would be fine if it had ended on the second one.
I would have been happy.
Yeah.
But no, you can't
Throwing
have
your
3.
words back at you now.
No, I would have quite happily taken that film by itself as a standalone film. But as a series, it's the best one.
Okay.
Much like A New Hope could have been a standalone film, but as part of a much bigger series.
But going back to our idea, can we do the whole rich guy does some superheroes differently?
Yes.
How?
Explain yourself, Ben.
I will explain myself, Scott.
Okay. Calm down.
Are you ready?
Yes.
I am ready.
Okay.
I'm sitting very
Are
comfortably.
you sitting up?
I am
And we
indeed.
shall begin.
Good.
So we do it like a kind of, not exactly like a kind of undercover kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where like said rich person, like infiltrates the mob.
Oh, okay.
Or like because like they're rich and they could just be like.
So superheroics, but rather than
it superheroics doesn't need to be out in the open, big cape.
So kind of like a vigilantism, undercover vigilantism.
It can be like, yeah, he could. Yeah, okay. He could potentially, like, because of Bruce Wayne is probably the richest person in Gotham. Yeah. He could probably rise to the top of the mob and then
and he's incredibly smart. Yeah.
Yeah, disband it, or not disband it, but like
infiltrate
eventually
infiltrate in such a way that every single link he knows and understands, and then turns them all in.
Yeah.
Yep, that's one way to clear that out.
I would watch that TV series.
And it could be done with some of the superheroics that Bruce Wayne or Batman has.
Like, say he can't get into somewhere as Bruce Wayne, he goes in as Batman.
Yeah, so he's like I think I get where you're going. It's not, because like Batman, it operates all the time at night, because obviously he can't operate during the day at all because he looks stupid. But
well, he does in
but like by day he's the undercover. He's a vigilante who's undercover with the mob to bring them down.
Yeah.
But also in other times he uses the Batman persona to get other things done he can't, to clear out corruption. It's just that, like, can you? I can't think of any other way to.
It's a difficult thing to do, and I think the reason why, film directors and stuff will go for this kind of story, is because it's so out there, and you could do more story with that. Whereas, like, if you were to do it how you would, like, do it in this world, it's harder because we haven't figured it out.
And if we can't figure it out, nobody can.
I was just thinking that one of the criticisms I frequently read about Iron Man, Olive Queen, and Bruce Wayne and others too, is that these are always the only way they're like an attempt to get us to like rich people. When as I said, rich people cause most of the problems in the Batman universe, and to be fair, our world. And it's like, this is the only thing rich people can think of doing, is to become cool crime fighters. I was just wondering if they could do it. Like, whereas they're going to have in the future, Batman will be slightly different, where he'll be less of he'll do more to change Gotham for the better, as opposed to keep punching people. Especially poor people who haven't got much of a chance and have to join. I'm joining the other clown who's dressed up this week. This guy's got question marks on him, but I need a job and Gotham isn't giving me anyone, so I'll join this freak. I have to work with a guy who's a penguin and makes really weird noises all the time, and I'm with the person who wants to cause an ecological terrorism. I really hope there's a bar in Gotham where all these goons go and go, I can't believe it. Can I get
My boss sucks.
I have to join Mr. Freeze. At least you're cold all the time, but it's not a bad gig.
Adverts throughout the city where it's like,
in a heat wave, you'll be glad to be working with him.
Yeah, it's like all these, like, in America they have like these real estate benches of agents or promoting their agency, but it'd be like them promoting their own villain agency.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Don't forget about the whole rich person becomes superhero. Write a comedy series based on this bar where all these goons have to go, and they just they don't name drop them because you can't do that, but they're always referencing some superhero, some supervillain we know.
We will give you this idea, people, for a very, very high commission.
But but if you could just make it funny, that'd be like, I'd really want to know this bar. It'd be like Cheers, but it wouldn't. You'd never leave it. You'd just be in the bar the whole time, and every single character is like, I can't believe what he tried to do last week. What did he try to do? He tried
to put a knife in my mouth and cut the sides of my cheeks.
I don't know why I look at this guy. He's a clown. He kills everybody. He kills everyone.
I actually stayed frozen for 2 days this time.
He keeps trying to tell me how he got these scars. I don't care.
I don't care.
I just want my paycheck.
You think my guy's made of clay? My guy's a penguin.
My guy's really short and has a weird nose. Like, I reckon I could take him in a fight, but
for some reason I'm scared of him because he has these umbrellas.
He's constantly afraid it will rain.
My guy's constantly giving me riddles, and I hate it so much. I hate riddles.
I hate the crossword puzzles.
Please stop giving me Sudoku.
I prefer Connect 4 to the games. I don't like riddles. I'm trying to think of another
We should do
villain.
this across universes.
You think that's bad? My guy thinks he's a reincarnation of an Egyptian pharaoh. He's speaking to me in Egyptian. I don't speak Egyptian.
He's speaking in hieroglyphics.
My guy's an immortal, but he's been around for 600 years. He doesn't share the secret of immortality.
But he's constantly taking baths. I don't know why.
I don't know why.
He's got such youthful features. I wonder what his skincare routine is.
My guy has a really annoying voice. How have you do? Ben did the main voice.
That
one.
I can't understand him half the time. I wish he'd take that mask off.
It's just jaw
Come on,
like
there's more. There's more Batman villains.
There's so much
I'm
more.
trying to think, like the Condiment King. My guy thinks he's rehearsing Alice in Wonderland half the time.
My guy's like a pencil.
Who's that? Wait.
The eraser.
Oh, the eraser. Calendar Man. He only commits crimes on special days of the year.
Well, like
I want a
13th
holiday
of
on those
February.
special days. He's always committing crimes on the most important days of the year. Thanksgiving, Christmas. I want a day off on those days.
But then the main shot is Alfred coming to the bar and goes, "You have no idea what my this is like."
Yes, that's perfect. And Alfred can't tell them, but he has to sort of go, my guy like leaves bloody clothes everywhere. He won't clean up his hotel, and I have to give him food after he's done the business of I guess committing crimes, but also not.
Do you know how hard cobwebs are to get out of a cave?
How do you clean spandex?
Wait a minute, who's running the bar? That has to be something like it has to be some background.
Alfred is running the bar.
Alfred's second life.
Yes.
Bruce Wayne has his second
What?
life. Alfred's second life is bartending at this bar for
You
criminals.
know when Alfred goes off and quits,
Yeah.
he gets a job as a bartender in that
In
bar.
that bar. It's their stories. Occasionally the villains walk into the bar to get their goons out. Like, I know there is a funny series called Harley Quinn. It's a some of the jokes are a bit woohoo, but it touches on something of this. And in the DC animated universe, there is a bar where all the Flash's goons go,
Yeah.
and they can't ever afford anything because he's made them bankrupt. Anyway, getting back to the point, make
What was the
the
original
comedy
point?
series of the. And you could branch out because like you could name drop Lex Luthor's goons or Thanos' goons or any goon always coming into the bar and is complaining all the time about their boss and how stupid their plans are. And how it affects their marriages, and how they
I
claim...
got kids, man.
I try to pay taxes with money that's got blood on it all the time, or frozen, or covered in vegetables, or question marks are written all over it.
She keeps giving me plants. I don't know why.
I don't know what to do with them.
Oh God,
I
she's not alive.
stepped on a flower. She always killed me with poison from a flower. The only good one, I'll tell you this one. The only good one would be Catwoman to work with, because all that is basic thievery. And the worst thing you have to put up with her occasionally stealing your stuff.
Yeah.
But that's.
I keep having cat hair all over me.
I'm allergic to cat hair, but I don't want to go work with the man bat because I'm allergic to bats.
Too soon. Too soon.
Harvey Dent, you know what that guy's thinking half the time. He tosses a coin to decide his lunch,
He's got.
which is also our lunch.
Sushi.
He's
or
constantly
sandwiches.
talking to himself. I was like, I feel like I should get him a coin for his birthday.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him a really rare coin. I got him one before. No, don't do that. I got him one, and he scratched one side of it, and half the value.
I gave him a $5 note, and it's like he didn't want it anymore. He couldn't flip it.
Yeah. Can I have this in quarters, please?
And there we go.
Oh.
Right, stop doing films about rich people becoming superheroes and not really solving any issues.
I want villains in a bar.
I want the goons of villains in a bar complaining about their lives and just keep going like that. 6 seasons in the movie.
Tell you what, if this video reaches 30 views, I will make that on my channel.
Oh yeah, I think therefore, lads, we've come to the end,
Yes.
and with that seamless transition, we will move on just to the end. Thank you for listening to us, give us your idea, and explain what we would do in the universe. But Ben, have you got anything to plug on that note?
No, funnily enough, no.
No, you do.
Upstairs Studios on YouTube. Go check me out. I am got a decent number of subscribers. Go join them. We're really cool, and yeah.
What do you call?
Me and Scott, I think, are going to star in the next video.
Hopefully.
That is true.
You should come up with a name for your subscribers.
The stairs.
The stairs.
The stairs. What?
The
The steps? No. Steps. That's
No, you can't use that. That's taken.
Upperties.
Ups. Uppity stairs.
Uppity
UPS.
stereos.
UPS. No.
I don't know. I'll think of something.
Comment
it down below.
Link in the description to that YouTube channel. Thank you, Ben.
And funny enough, my plug is also your plug, so I'll let you do it this week.
I always get Scott to do it, but basically I'm just not paying him to plug my own stories.
Well, no, it saves you money this week from me not doing it.
Look, which I never pay you.
What?
Check out Stolen Futures book covers appearing right now. Excellent.
Seamless transition.
Exactly. Or you could try Half Human, a series that I wrote along with a bunch of students from school who helped write it and edit it as well. So that's a project that encourages them to write their own stories. And you could always try my other series, Alien Hunter Conan Jones, 10 books for children. Check out my books. Check out the rest of the videos on the 8th plot as well. So, thank you, chaps. We managed to do a shorter one this week, and that's good. I think we'll keep
the
viewers.
last 15 minutes of that was just us describing villains in a bar.
I think it was.
Villains in a bar, we'll call it that. The Villains Pub.
That's already
strong
taken.
commission.
Oh, no, sorry, not Villains in a Pub. Villains Goons. Like
Goons in a bar.
Goons in a bar. Goons in a bar, that's what it's called.
Gundabar.
Gundabar.
And because this video has released, we'll know if anyone's taken it, so we can show it and sue you.
We apologise if anyone has already thought of this idea. We were just joking.
Don't sue us.
Don't sue us. Sue someone else. Just not us, because we have no money. You'd get nothing. But anyway, please like and subscribe to the 8th Plot and, of course, Upstairs Studios. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Ben. Thank you, Scott.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and it's time to say goodbye. So have a good afternoon, evening, or after evening wherever you are in the world. I tried to think of something like the sound you hear is fear.